So the new Superman movie came out and I saw it. What did I think of it? That's a good question. I'm glad that you asked. Actually, I really, really liked it. I wasn't sure what to think about James Gunn coming on as the head of these DC projects. I enjoyed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I thought they were good. There were times that I thought they were almost a satire of superhero movies. I thought sometimes that the comedy went a little bit over the top, just at points. But in general, I like them. I had mixed feelings about James Gunn's work on The Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, especially Peacemaker. There's some good things in Peacemaker, but I'm not sure that that's quite my style. Anyways, I wasn't sure what this would look like. And we've had such a wide range of Superman movies when we think about what Superman looked like with Christopher Reeves, and then with Superman Returns, and then Man of Steel. Really different takes on Superman. What would this look like? And I think that James Gunn has come up with something that is really special with the Superman movie. And I'm not going to go into details about exactly what happens, but just make some general remarks about the way the story worked out and the characters in it. I know there was a lot of people concerned about all the different characters that would be included in it, that we have Superman and his regular group of people of Lois Lane and Perry White and Jimmy Olsen, which, by the way, I actually thought that they used them well. And Lois Lane, the chemistry between Lois Lane and Clark Kent, Superman, I thought was really good. Probably the best that we've seen in any of these movies. And I really like what they did with Jimmy Olsen. I thought that was pretty good. But there was a lot more. We have the Justice Gang, which is a horrible name, which of course that's what they comment on throughout the movie. But we have Green Lantern Guy Gardner, as well as Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific. We also have the appearance of Metamorpho as well, one of my old favorites. And which, by the way, I never thought we'd actually see a live action Metamorpho, but that was pretty cool. But you know what? The way it worked out, it does work. Like, the way they do it in it is not having to give all the background story on all of these characters. If they had to do that, if they had to provide an origin story for every character that appears, it would be absolutely bloated. But they don't do that. These characters are just there. Even Superman, the assumption is he's already been public for 3 years by the time this movie comes out. And there are other superheroes that are around already as well. And we just step into this world that is already created. It's not like before, where they were introducing these characters one by one, and they're not really a part of the universe until they appear in a movie. These characters come in already existing, and it works. And the way they do it is something that brings great joy, I'll say, especially the portrayal of Mr. Terrific, which was absolutely terrific. It really was fantastic. The actor is incredible in it. The way they portray him is just top notch, and I am positive that we're going to see more of Mr. Terrific, probably in quite a few different projects. But the general tone of the movie is what I want to comment on. And so, yes, there's a lot of laughter, there's some jokes, there's humor, but it's not over the top. It's that sweet spot that we're looking for. And really what I look for in a movie are the goosebumps, the emotional connection, the experience of something special happening, something that is not just mildly amusing, but something that actually touches the heart. And indeed, Superman does provide that in numerous places, which is incredible. The conversation that Superman has with his adopted father is one of those, but there are numerous other parts of it. Some of the interactions with Lois Lane and some of the other things that take place that really hit the target on that, and to me make it that special movie. Now, the elephant in the room is, how does Superman compare to the Man of Steel? Now, the Man of Steel, I actually was a big fan of, and I want to just take a moment to note that there is this huge battle going on online between the fans of Zack Snyder and the fans of James Gunn, and the Gunn people are saying the Snyder stuff was trash. The Snyder people are saying the Gunn stuff is trash. I liked both of them. I thought that Man of Steel was a really good movie. In fact, it was the movie I was looking for, because up till then, most of the Superman movies we had were really just him kind of interacting with Lex Luthor and trying to foil his plans, and not a lot of hitting, not a lot of battles or anything like that. And we just wanted to see Superman hit something. And Zack Snyder provided that in Man of Steel. And there were some great scenes in Man of Steel. I still think it's a pretty good movie. I'm not a huge Zack Snyder fan. I would say that his overall style of storytelling is, for me, well, I'll just say it doesn't work for me. I'm not going to say he's bad. I'm just going to say his style in general doesn't work for me. Man of Steel probably was one of his better ones, but I am actually okay that we are getting a reboot and things are going in a different direction. And I like this lighter direction that we're going in. This movie was fun. I'm not sure that Man of Steel was fun. It was enjoyable. It was interesting. It was visually appealing, but I'm not sure that it was really fun. Superman, James Gunn's Superman, was indeed fun. And as a longtime comic book collector and a comic book reader, it felt the most like a comic book movie. What I've noticed is that the general trend, and this is for Marvel as well as DC, has been to take our modern world and our modern sensibilities and then take characters from the comics and translate that into our world, so that in many ways they are modern characters that we can understand, that are based on these comic book characters. Whereas James Gunn seemed to take a comic book character and just put it on the screen. And so it felt like a comic. So there was some plot holes in there, but they were the general plot holes that we would see in a comic book movie. There was leaps of logic, but again, the leaps of logic that we see in a comic book. So that's the way it worked out, and it really felt like a comic book. So based on that, I would say that it is excellent. So going back to the Man of Steel versus Superman, the people who are the Snyder fans who are really attacking this and saying, well, look, it's actually making a little bit less money. When you adjust it for inflation, it actually is making a bit less money. Not by a lot, but a little bit less than Man of Steel. One thing I would just comment on before making too much of a judgment is that the entire movie industry has changed tremendously since COVID, that the amount of people who go to see a movie is a lot less. It's not that it's unsafe to go to see movies, but during COVID, when we got used to just waiting and streaming the stuff on our TVs and realized, wait a minute, this is a lot cheaper. You can rent it and you pay one thing and you can watch it or buy it, and they're being released so soon after being released in the theater. Pay for your own food, your own drinks. It's a whole lot cheaper. As a father who brings their children, I brought 3 of my children to see Superman. It can get pretty expensive when you add up everything. And so, since COVID, people don't go to the movies as much. In fact, I am a lot more discerning in what I'll actually see in the theater. For example, I just saw uh, Captain America New World Order on TV. I never saw it in the theater. Pre-COVID, I probably would have gone to see it in the movie, but it just didn't have the draw for me. Just didn't feel like I needed to see it on a big screen, and I was happy to wait for it. And I'll share my thoughts on that movie in a different video. So Superman, excellent movie. Maybe some people are not going to like it. It's not necessarily everyone's style, but I think this is a good sign of where DC is going in the future, and I look forward to this expanded new DC universe. Thank you, and God bless.